Welcome to News Alert on Capital Television.
For a developing country, citizens knowing the basic national policies, code of conduct, laws, as well as citizens empowered to know their rights is a step in the right direction for development. It is the responsibility of the government of Ghana to enforce and uphold these human rights. While huge resources are used in curbing lawlessness, it appears the issues relating to lawlessness still exist and as if nothing has been done about it. In Ghana, corrupt law enforcement agents easily cheat or corrupt the ordinary man, but by virtue of the power vested in ordinary citizens by their rights, could make them gatekeepers, purge corrupt law enforcement out, among others. In Ghana, the National Commission for Civic Education is tasked with creating awareness and educating Ghanaians on their basic civic rights and responsibilities, and yet Ghanaians still know very little about their rights and responsibilities to the country.
Well, civic education is a broad area, and it is a collective responsibility in that no one institution can carry out this activity of civic education. It involves a lot of institutions and even the people themselves, whether they will also support in making civic education a reality. When you look at civic education, it shouldn't be an individualistic me and me and me. You should look at what you can also do. For instance, if a community is dirty and you are waiting for the city authorities to come, if there's any outbreak, at least you will get infected before they come. So if there are issues like that, as a community, what can we also do to make sure that we clear that thing? What can we do to make sure that, yes, the community in which we live is clean and all that? Because if you look at the duties of a citizen as we have it in the Constitution, every citizen is supposed to promote the well-being of the community in which he or she lives.
We asked cross-sections of Ghanaians if they are aware of some of the rights they are entitled to and what their country expects in return.
I mean, right. Left and now right.
Right, Neduma. Me. Eduma no ne first na customize see ade enkoyie my.
My rights is the privileges that are due me as described by law, and my ability to stand for it and demand it.
It is a me fingu abonting because Ghana may na yede na yimira right should be abona yetumi yetuma kananyim.
Fishermen in Jamestown in Accra have decried the recent fuel increment, saying it has seriously affected their business as the price of premix fuel had shot up. They have therefore called for an immediate government intervention to remedy the situation as it has become a major problem affecting the local fishing industry.
Most of our canoe fishermen are doing the light fishing. This morning we had information from the fishermen, our fishermen, that the light fishing is going on in Tema. And the Marine Police, the law enforcement agencies, they are based in Tema. So we don't see the reason why we will hear the news that Tema fishermen are still doing the light fishing. And that was the premise for, formerly we were giving 3,000 gallons a week. But now it has been increased to 2 tanks, which is 6,000 gallons. And we have 3 filling stations here. So we distribute 1,000. And we've had our supply for the last week. But as for this week, we've not had anything. And we are in the fishing season. And our fishermen, if they can't get it, they do go to the filling stations to buy and then buy oil. And it is very costly. All what we are asking the government is, the government should come to our aid. At least we learned there's diesel shortage, but since this is the season, the government should try and help us.
The fishermen added that the prevalent shortage of premix fuel and activities of light fishing vessels are the major challenges which impede their efforts to cash in on the sector.
agbolo ni shona paasi sila te wo efte wo no fiano ni ko wote wo mu wona petroshika e ko ba shia mu e ko ba won fashika ye onyeme awula ko ulari wo ke yini ni oba mo nyuma hu oba cha petrol 3 million lo 2 million lo 1 million de ni papa láìtí ẹ̀yàn nílùú ẹ̀kàwọ̀n ìlú ọlú ẹ̀ àmìdí àmẹ́yẹjọ́ kẹ́tẹ́lẹ́ láìtí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ìṣọ́ pẹ̀lú àmẹ́yẹjọ́ ni wọ́n fẹ́ mí ni wọ́n bá ná ìdọ̀lẹ̀ máa mi wọ́n yẹn mọ̀ wúlò náà mẹ́wàá àwọ̀ ní àmìnàmọ́ níwọ̀ yẹn níwọ̀ mi ni wọ́n náà kó níwọ̀ kẹ́ wà mí nàgbẹ́ni pẹ̀tù ẹ̀wọ̀n lẹ́hún mẹ́ni bẹ́ẹ̀ni túmọ̀ ní àmẹ́jọ́ ọ̀sẹ̀ nàmẹ́hẹ́ nàmẹ́kẹ́ àkọlùwádìí nàmẹ́ àkọlùwà nwoko obe kadi yensho na esa ni mini afo petrol eyan abu gbogbo eni ebeleke ya ebe ne si eba foto eba petrol le ba won le o jala wa
me la tele ko je ko shimbo petrol no wala ke petrol jira wa lo san lo le 500 de ba won le 1 million abo ameke petrol ko wa tra wono ko wa won she
egbinele ko ya wo le fu le ewadan wo na wa again show be this time ne gebi am ne she be am sani wona fulo ko ya wo gida ne gebi am ji ko ya wo ni ji wa na shika no mo foil ba wona petrol obi an le chema petrol ji no wa yo no ge ya wo.
Stakeholders in the local fishing industry therefore want government to ensure the constant supply of premixed fuel and also crack down on illegal light fishing activities so as to enable them stay in business.
Cabinet has approved 37 million euros for the construction of 15 additional polyclinics in the Central and Greater Accra regions. The construction of the new health facilities will help improve access to quality health care and help with government's commitment to tackling the challenges associated with maternal and infant mortality. A statement signed by the Minister of Communications, Dr. Edward Omanibuama, said the new health facilities, when completed, will improve antenatal care, rapid delivery programs, improve nutritional programs such as breastfeeding and complementary feeding, expanded program of immunization, and improvement in the integrated management of childhood illnesses. 10 of the new polyclinics will be in the Central region, the most deprived region in terms of healthcare infrastructure.
The vetting of persons vying for the National Democratic Congress regional constituency elections continued today. The Greater Accra Constituency Chairman, Mr. Kobina Adekoka, noted that the organization for the vetting process has been smooth, commending party executives for dedication to the party's cause. He said although some concerns were raised, aggrieved persons have been consulted to chart the way forward. Mr. Adekoka also assured Ghanaians that the NDC is a party for all, adding that tribal discriminations is not entertained.
So far, it's been excellent, and I think it's a feather to the cap of all the executive members who have worked tirelessly. Not this didn't start on Wednesday, but before the meetings that we held to come to this situation and format, which I think all of them have acquitted themselves credibly and have sacrificed their time. Last night, for instance, we left here around 8 o'clock, and that's service to Mother Ghana and to the party. The idea is to ensure that we get credible people. NDC is a living organism. You want it to continue to live when we have left the party, because naturally it will come a time when we will move on.
300 party aspirants are undergoing vetting.
A leading member of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Kobina Arthur Kennedy, says although he has no evidence to back his claims that Nana Akufo-Addo motivated the clashes at the party's headquarters on Tuesday, he is convinced by common sense that the presidential hopeful is to blame. Dr. Arthur Kennedy has accused the two-time MPP presidential candidate of instigating some aggrieved youth to attack the party's chairman, Paul Afoko, and General Secretary Kwabena Agyapong during a press briefing on Tuesday. The office of Nana Addo, in a rebuttal, said Dr. Arthur Kennedy's allegations were born out of pure malice in pursuit of his hate campaign against Nana Akufo-Addo. Dr. Arthur Kennedy, however, maintained his stance that the recent events in the NPP points to the fact that either Nana Addo or people acting on his behalf are the ones behind all the disturbances in the NPP in his quest to remove the new executives from office. The Council of Elders of the New Patriotic Party has meanwhile ordered all its officials to cease making public statements on the internal conflict raging within the party or risk sanctions.
Local business owners Capital TV interacted with today have expressed mixed reaction on how accessible it is for them to secure business loans to expand their business. While Stephen Baidu explained that although he once secured a 3,000 loan from a financial institution, the interest rate on the loan virtually meant he had little benefit and will in the future not go in for a loan.
It is not all that easy getting assistance from the financial institutions. On light at first. Formerly, the financial institutions have been coming here asking for whether we need loans or any other assistance. But nowadays, we have to go there, and even that it isn't easy getting the loan or any other financial assistance. And the cost of capital or the cost of loan as at now also seems so frustrating that even if it's ever given to you, it is going to add up to the cost of your sales.
William Kankam, a spare parts dealer, said he has never been enthused about going for a loan despite several wooings of financial agents.
As at now, the economy, you can loan sell the baby be a juma or now loan be an interest on this economy and aqua loan the bedroom there only idea or the cotton. Any will turn over scale will be now bit me a loan. But as at now, you know about boca, it me pay loans.
Former Youth and Sports Minister Elvis Efriye-Ankrah shed tears on Thursday during the 7th sitting of the commission set up to investigate Ghana's participation at the World Cup in Brazil. A teary and emotional Efriye-Ankrah told the Justice Jemehwe-led commission that he felt devastated by how much the country's efforts at the World Cup were thwarted by the issues of bonuses. Efriye-Ankrah, who has now been reassigned to the presidency as a Minister of State, told the commission that he had been under intense pressure to see to the demands of the players for their appearance fees to be paid in cash instead of exercising an electronic option. He dismissed reports that he had spent the Ghanaian taxpayers' money and denied that his wife was the caterer contracted to cook for the supporters in Brazil. He said his mother never participated in the sale of replica jerseys, as was alleged, wondering why Ghanaians are peddling rumors that he squandered the country's money on Brazilian women. Mr. Efriye-Ankrah meanwhile gave an account of funds raised. On payment of appearance fees, he advised that in future, monies should be given to players via electronic means to avoid the transfer of liquid cash over long distances. The commission resumes work on Monday, August 25th.
People across Malaysia held a minute's silence and wore black on Friday as the Southeast Asian country observed a day of mourning to mark the return of the first 20 bodies among its citizens killed in the plane crash. Flags flew at half-mast and newspapers dubbed their front pages in black to honor the 20 victims among 43 Malaysians who were on the flight, carrying a total of 298 passengers and crew, most of them Dutch. Malaysian King Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah and Prime Minister Najib Razak joined grieving relatives and somber Malaysian airline staff at a ceremony at Kuala Lumpur International Airport to greet the special flight from Amsterdam that brought home the remains. In the multi-ethnic country where tension between different groups and religions can run high, mourners united in grief with Muslim ethnic Malays and ethnic Chinese standing side by side and reciting prayers for the dead. The ceremony on Friday was was muted except for the plane's engines, as 8 men dressed in traditional Malay attire carried each coffin out. Hearses and helicopters lined up to transport the victims home for burial. The loss of MH17 came just 4 months after the disappearance of Malaysian airline flight MH370 with 239 people on board. No trace of that aircraft or its passengers have been found since it went missing on a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Hamas has killed 17 Palestinians suspected of collaborating with Israel, a day after Israel killed 3 of the group's top military commanders in an airstrike on a house in southern Gaza Strip. A Gaza security official said the first batch involved 11 people who were killed early on Friday at the Gaza City police headquarters. 6 more were killed later in the day in a public execution in a central Gaza square. 3 suspected collaborators were also killed on Thursday. The victims, their heads covered and hands tied, were shot dead by masked gunmen dressed in black in front of a crowd of worshippers outside a mosque after prayers. The Gaza security official said 11 men had previously been sentenced by Gaza courts. Israel's intelligence service rely in part on informers to pinpoint the whereabouts of Hamas leaders.
Ahwofe Patri, mate of comic Calibos, has shared how she appeared on the Boys Casa series, elevating her to stardom. The Boys Casa actress, real name Priscilla Opoku Ajiman, explained even though she feigned sickness to avoid being part of the cast the first time, she is eternally grateful to director of the series, Kofi Asamoah, for his belief in her. According to Priscilla Ajiman, she feels elated when fans notice her in town and request to take pictures with her, adding the attention she gets from kids is so fulfilling. The 23-year-old level 300 student of the National Film and Television Institute dream is to be a film director who owns her own production company. On Calibos, Ahwofe Patri explained they are very good friends. Hello, Bebe, and what a wow are a few of the popular terms that have come to stay.
Hey, does this look like a biscuit to you?
That ends News Alert on Capital Television.